Alrighty, so I'm gonna give you all a little tutorial on how you can go about doing all this. I'm not gonna do all the fancy lines because I don't want to and it takes too much time. So basically, this data right down here, right? That's what we're gonna be copying. I think I copied it correctly the first time, but the second time it didn't work, so we're gonna try it again. I'm gonna close this out. We're gonna get a blank Excel sheet, right? Blank workbook. Control V, and it worked. I'm gonna have to go through and I'm gonna have to expand all of these because there's too much information. I'm also gonna change that. Move all these out just so that there's, oh, you can't see that. Hang on. Here we go. Now you can see all the information. Haha. Okay. So okay, first step is we're going to take our average, right? So I'm going to go equals average, open parenthesis, and I'm going to drag these three down. That's the average that we're trying to get. I'm going to go close parenthesis and enter. I'm actually going to move this down because it's not in the right spot. There we go. I'm going to label this average OD. Spread this out so that I can read it correctly. Okay, so that's our average OD. If you take this little square dot thingy in the bottom of the corner and you drag all the way down, you're gonna get all the averages, and you can check that. If you double click, it'll show you each one is the average of the line. All right, so, and I'm gonna do the same thing here. Equals average for the unknowns. Average, click, drag, close parenthesis, enter, and drag it down. We're gonna deal with the unknowns later, okay? So what we're gonna need to do, oh snap, okay. Okay, so what we're gonna need to do is ask for the R-squared value. We're gonna get that in just a second. So it wants us to graph total protein versus average optical density. So our total proteins, if we take a look at these right here, right, we're gonna see that, I'm gonna expand this again. These are our microliters of 2 milligrams per milliliter. We did the math and we said that 2 microliters per, 2 micrograms per microliter is the same thing as 2 milligrams per milliliter. So we're gonna come over here and we're gonna go, we're gonna label this, what should we label this? Total protein. Micrograms. Okay, we're gonna expand this so I can see. Awesome. So we're gonna come here. Basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna click over on this dot here. I'm gonna take the asterisk key, like the little star thing, and then 2, press enter. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna drag it all the way down to all through the standards, okay? So we have our standards now. I'm gonna go up to the top. I'm gonna click insert. I'm gonna go to these dots. It looks a little bit different depending on which Excel version you're using, but we're gonna use the scatter plot that doesn't have any of the lines. It's just a scatter plot, right? All right, so we're gonna go, I'm gonna move this down here. Move here. Okay, and then I'm gonna right click and slide all the way up to select data and add a legend entry. Sometimes they have it already in there for you. If there is any other entries, delete them, remove them. We don't need them. Our X value is our total protein. So you're gonna click on the X value and you're gonna go up to your total proteins and you're gonna drag it down. Then you're gonna go down to your Y value. You're gonna delete what's there because it's gonna mess it up because Excel is not as smart as we want it to be. And then you have your graph. Press OK. And press OK in order to save it. So in biology, we don't use chart titles. It's just because. If you go up to your top left, or actually if you go to the very top, you should have a chart design, right? If you're not in chart design, click on chart design and then get to add chart element. There's axes titles. You're gonna add both primary and horizontal and vertical. And you're gonna name them, right? Your vertical was average OD. All right, and then your X values were the total proteins in micrograms. Yep, micrograms? Yeah, micrograms. Okay. Now, what you're gonna do, you're gonna right click on the graph, right? No, you're not. You're gonna right click on the graph. No. Oh yeah. Go back up to your top left corner and click on add chart element. There's gonna be a trend line. You're gonna click on linear trend line, okay? Then you're gonna right click on the trend line and over to your right. I'm gonna show you that there. There should be the 3 bars, right? You're gonna click on the 3 bars, slide all the way down, display equation on chart, and display R-squared value on chart. And then if you look over here, whoa, look what happened. Look at that. I'm gonna make this larger because I can. Oh, not that large. We're gonna make it that big. Okay, now we all see it. Great. Okay. Okay, why are you... Great, okay. So now we have that, okay? So we can answer our first question of what is the R-squared value for this data set. Now, it changes up this first one a lot. Sometimes it says it's the M value, and sometimes it says what's the R-squared value. Your M value, you're just gonna look at your graph, y equals mx plus b. It's gonna be 0.017. In this case, it's asking for R-squared, so you're gonna go 0.9855, so 0.9855, and that's your answer for that. What's the concentration of unknown 1? So, that's the other thing. Make sure you pay attention to whether it's asking for unknown 1 or unknown 2, because it's been messing around with me, so. You're gonna go, I'm just gonna write out the equation, y equals 0.017 x plus 0.0186, okay? So that's our equation. Basically, all that you're going to do to figure out what you need to do is you need to get the calculated protein and the concentration. So what we're going to do first, we're going to solve for x. If you need to pause the video and figure out how to solve x, you can. I'm just going to write it out because, well, that's how you solve for x. You're going to go y minus 0.0186, close parentheses, and divide by 0.017. That's what your x is equal to. These right here, for your unknowns, are your y values. So what I'm going to go is I'm going to go calculated, calculated protein in micrograms, okay? I'm going to spread this out again because it needs more space. Calculated protein, I'm going to go equals, and then you're going to go open parenthesis because we're basically just going to copy that. And you're going to go y minus 0.0186, close parenthesis, divide by 0.017. And that's it. You're going to go the same thing down here. Open parenthesis, y minus 0.0186, close parenthesis, divided by 0.017. And enter. And that's your calculated protein. Your concentration is going to be in micrograms per microliter, okay? So what you're gonna do, ooh, it's messed up. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a look at your volume of this sample, which is 5 microliters, right? That's what we see here. So we're gonna go, basically all we're going to do is equals, take this and divide it by 5. In the next one, it's your volume sample is 10 microliters, so you would divide your calculated protein by 10, okay? Yeah, and then you do it again. Equals this divided by 5. And that's your concentration for unknown 1 and 2. So your unknown 1 is going to be, ooh, where did it go? Close that. Unknown 1, concentration. Frick you. Move over. There we go. 7.23. And I'm going to say this answer. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna save and submit, make sure it's right. The second one is the exact same type of thing. Yeah. Oh, I gave it unknown 2. I checked all these answers. I gave it unknown 2 instead of unknown 1. That's my bad, but it is, in fact, 2.76. See what I mean? Be careful with what it's asking you, but yeah. That's it. The second one is exactly the same. Not exactly the same, but it's the same principles. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully that helps.